So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel, man. Salute. Now, I know when you read this title, you might have had a few flashbacks for some of us bad kids that were bad when we were younger. You know, when it says the cursed words that you should never say. Some of y'all flashback to maybe a possible time you got in trouble for your mouth being a little bit too slick. You know, and your parents had to kind of, step in and remind you who they were. Yeah. Some of y'all had those flashbacks. But I don't think this video is talking about that. I think the title of the video is the top 10 cursed words that you should never say. Now, it made me think about certain things that we were scared to say growing up or scared to recite, Candyman being one of them, Bloody Mary being another one of them, things like that. It was certain words, certain things you didn't do, certain places you didn't walk past. The old cat lady down there who always be in the shadows when you walk by her house, and you can only see a black silhouette, and she's standing on a porch looking through the screen, but you can't really tell. It was certain things you didn't say or do depending on where you was from, right? We could all remember certain things. It was this dude, they called him, when we were younger, they called him Skinner, right? They called him Skinner. And he was a rough looking dude. You could tell he might have been on some type of drugs or something, but he just walked around and he didn't even look at you when he walked down the street. You stayed away from him, mind you, but as kids, we always wanted to peek and look. He just walked and he spoke to himself. We knew after the stories we heard to stay away from him, but you know what I mean? It was just certain things from your childhood you remember. But we're gonna check this video out, man, and see what they talking about. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, join the fam, and yeah, let's check this out.
What's up, people? Hope you're having an awesome day wherever and whenever you're watching this. I'm your host, Eamon Hassan, and welcome back to another video here at Most Amazing Top 10. So let's face it, people are superstitious about a lot of things. Stepping on cracks in the pavement, breaking glass, black cats, and words. There are many words that people avoid saying for a lot of reasons. Either they think saying it will give them bad luck, the word's been known to cause destruction around them, or they believe it's cursed. And those are all valid reasons to not want to say a word. But what words should we be avoiding at all costs? Let's find out. This is the top 10 curse words that you should never say. Starting us off at number 10 is Macbeth, which is probably the most well-known cursed word on this list, so I thought I'd just, ease us in. Now, if you've ever been a part of theatre or have gone to the theatre, you know that saying Macbeth inside a theatre is just a no-go unless you're actually rehearsing the play. If you're not, then it's pretty much universally believed to be cursed with giving out bad luck.
See, you can't tell a person like me what not to say when going to a place, because now it's going to make me want to say it. Like, I don't know why that's in me. I got to work on myself. Maybe in 2022, I'll work on that part of me. But you telling me not to say this word makes me want to say it. I guess that's the child in me that'll never go away. But
or not, then it's pretty much universally believed to be cursed with giving out bad luck. People refer to it most commonly as the Scottish plague. The word got its reputation after a long series of unfortunate events. In its first performance in 1606, the actor playing Lady Macbeth died out of nowhere, and Shakespeare himself had to replace him. In another production in Amsterdam, the actor playing King Duncan was killed in front of the audience when a real dagger was used instead of a prop. How does someone make that mistake? Whoever the set manager was, fire him right away. Or her. Actor Harold Norman played Macbeth and died after his stage battle in 1947. Actor deaths aside, the play's staging has brought about many audience riots as well. Now, I've done theatre since I was 6, I did drama at university as well, and I've never seen an audience riot, so that's something. Many believe Shakespeare cursed the play himself by using real spells in the Three Witches dialogue. Skeptics, however, have disagreed, claiming the play has been staged over 400 times. Of course accidents are gonna happen. I mean, accidents are forgivable, that's completely fine, but 3 actors dying in the same play, that's more than an accident, don't you think? Coming in at number 9 is Youre Dying. If there's one word doctors avoid saying like it's the plague, it's dying. In a study done a few years ago, it was found that with patients who were dying shocking, only 11% of doctors actually told them about the possibility of them dying. It's always euphemisms like treatment isn't going our way or the patient is failing to thrive, and neither of those point to death. Take Nora, a journalist for the LA Times, for example. Her husband was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, yet none of his doctors told him he was going to die. 2 days prior, all the specialists were talking optimistically about buying him more time, and then like that, it was treatment isn't going our way. Again, no one has mentioned that he's dying, it's just more euphemisms. In this day and age, technology has advanced so much that doctors don't even rely on talking to their patient for a diagnosis. It's all about scans and test results. So intangible things like talking to the patient kind of just got lost in translation somewhere. And it's enshrined in the system as well. We all know how long doctors spend in medical school, like it's a long ass time. And in 4 years of medical school, the average amount of instruction on dying and death is only 17 hours. That is shocking. In 2013, out of 49 accredited schools for public health, only 3 offered a course on end-of-life care. So there is a gap in the system for sure, and I understand it. I mean, schools don't want to spend time on death because death is seen as a medical failure, and we're not here to fail, we're here to save lives. And I can't even imagine how hard it would be to have to tell someone that they're dying, but there's so many people like Nora's husband who will be blindsided if they don't. At number 8, we have the number 13. At least 10% of the US population has a fear of the number 13. Fear of Friday the 13th.
Really? Well, how did I miss out on this? There's an actual fear of the number 13? I'm trying to think. I think that was a different number though. I know Jim Carrey had a movie with one of those numbers. I can't remember what it was. I have to go back and look. But I never knew it was an official phobia of that number. That's crazy.
At least 10% of the US population has a fear of the number 13. Fear of Friday the 13th results in losses of over $800 million annually because people avoid traveling, getting married, or even working that day. There's so many apartment buildings I've been to here in Toronto, and a lot of them don't have a 13th floor, and I actually found out that 80% of high-rise buildings in the US also don't have a 13th floor either. But where did this fear of the number 13 even come from? Some say it's due to the Code of Hammurabi, one of the oldest legal documents in the world, because it left out a 13th law from its list, when really the omission was just human error from the translator. Others believe it's because mathematicians and scientists always put such an emphasis on the number 12. It was the perfect number in the ancient world, that's why our calendars have 12 months, one day is 2 12-hour halves, so because of having to follow the perfect number, people find 13 to be lacking. I literally don't even know what that means. How can a number be lacking? What expectations do numbers even have that we find any of them lacking? What are they lacking? Numerical? Is that even a thing? I don't even know. Either way, others point to the 13th guest appearance as the reason why people think the number is cursed. At the Last Supper, Judas Iscariot was the 13th guest to arrive, and he was the one that betrays Jesus. That's one. Number 2, in Norse lore, they believe turmoil and evil were brought into the world by the mischievous god Loki at a dinner party in Valhalla. He was the 13th guest as well. So I mean, there is a lot of backing as to why people think it's bad luck or curse, so which side do you guys fall on? 13 yay or 13 nay? Filling our number 7 slot is he who should not be named. We all know what the word is that I'm not saying, but why was it such a thing to not say the word? Well, Voldemort was the most powerful dark wizard of all time. Despite being defeated by Harry Potter, he still had a huge loyal following of Death Eaters that seemed to always just be around. On top of that, many believed he wasn't even gone for good. Wizards like Dumbledore believed he was still alive in some form and would try and return he did. Plot twist, spoiler alert. And being the biggest dark wizard, people were terrified of him, even his memory scared people. So wizards and witches alike just felt safe in not saying his name. They used to not say it when he was at the peak of his power to feel safer, and that just continued even after the whole Harry Potter debacle. And it's like the old saying goes, you know, speak of the devil and he doth appear. I feel like the same sentiments were shared about Voldemort, which is why no one ever said his name. And I know this isn't part of the real world, but as a Potterhead, I just had to include it. It was just my duty. Just let it go, guys. Now at number 6 is the number 39. I feel like at this point, people are more scared of numbers than there are of words.
Wait a minute now. I'm starting to get skeptical about this, bro. Now there's a 13 and a 39. What is up with the numbers? They made us say numbers in school. Like, we didn't skip over 13 and 39 when we were in school learning our numbers. Like, what? Why?
which I don't get, but here we go. But anyway, in Afghanistan, the number 39 has a very bad reputation. It's like a badge of shame almost. The number was said to have been associated with the pimp that lived in Herat. He was called 39 because his car's registration plate and his apartment number had 39 in it. The number also translates to Mordagao, which means dead cow in Dari, but it's also a really popular slang term for a pimp. But as this pimp came into the limelight, locals started linking the number 39 to pimping and prostitution and wanted nothing to do with it. Corrupt police officials charge more money to change a 39 license plate. Some people just use black tape to change a 3 into an 8, which I mean it's nifty. I gotta give you that. One local who had 39 in his phone number told BBC how he would get numerous calls asking if he had any prostitutes. Despite the government telling everyone 39 is fine, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just a number, you guys, it made little to no difference in public opinion. Coming in at number 5 is—
So this is what y'all do, right? Ladies. Fellas, don't get mad at me for this. Ladies, go home and just, start casually mentioning the number 39 to your significant other and see what happens, right? If he responds to it or don't likes it or asks a certain, he out here pimping them hoes. he out here going after these pimps, bro. He got pimps on speed dial. He be asking where the prostitutes at. So, oh man, definitely go home and check and ask your husband about the number 39 to see what happens. I didn't know, so you could tell I'm definitely out of the loop.
Is the number 17. Yes, I know, many numbers and there are many more to come. But anyway, by now we kind of get the drift that certain numbers in certain countries are considered cursed or bad luck. To add to that list, the number 17 is considered very unlucky and cursed in Italy. The reason behind this is because if you write it in its Roman numerical form, XVII, and then change it anagrammatically to VIXI, that in Latin means I have lived, whereas the perfect tense means my life is over. Which honestly is just not the kind of energy I need from a number. It's 2019, I just don't need those bad vibes in my life. I don't. Let's get rid of those. Like in previous cases, it's common in Italy for buildings not to have a 17th floor, and most hotels don't even have a room 17. Even the Italian airline Alitalia doesn't have a seat 17. But honestly, I feel like that's a reach. The number 17 was perfectly fine. Who told
Anybody ever notice that? Now I'm gonna be looking for a number 17 when I go to a hotel. I'm supposed to be going to a hotel within the next 2 weeks. We're going somewhere. And now I wanna know, you have a room 17? I gotta ask now. I gotta figure this. I never knew. You see how they bring stuff up to you? And now it's like, it's gonna bother you until you see for yourself.
Anyone to rearrange its Roman numerical version into a death omen. No one. Absolutely no one. At number 4 is the number 4. Now this one is a bit less known because most people know 13 is a cursed number, but in Chinese culture, people avoid the number 4 like nobody's business. The reason for that is the way you say 4 in Chinese sounds very similar to the word for death in Chinese. The same thing goes for the number 4 in Japanese and Korean. And it's a huge deal. Special care goes into avoiding the number in everyday life. Saying it around a sick relative is strongly frowned upon, and you're never meant to give 4 of something to anyone. Like the number 13, many Asian elevators skip the 4th floor in buildings, and even military aircraft and ships avoid the number 4. April the 4th is the worst day of the year. It's like the equivalent of Friday the 13th, and it's not just the number 4. It's 14, it's 42, it's 24. It's numbers that contain 4. Sometimes in restaurants there is no—
That's crazy. I just heard about this. Well, I ain't really hear about it, but I briefly remember on an episode of Blacklist I was just watching last night, and he gave the lady like 4 spiders, and she was upset with him, and he had to put her into like a hotel, you know what I mean? Because they had put her in danger, but she was still mad at him, and Reddington was trying to, you know what I mean, get on her good side, but he didn't know that number 4 had that type of significance or something with it. I don't know, I'm gonna go back and check it out now, but that's crazy that I saw that, then this, now I gotta go back and see how these two parallel, and yeah, that's crazy.
Table 4 or table 14. If they wanted to include it, it would take the form of 3A or 13A. And it even plays into their economy and real estate. Neighborhoods that don't have 4 in their street name are more profitable than ones that do. And it 100% should not make an appearance in your phone number, your address, or your ID number, because that is severe since the number is personally attached to you. Filling our number 3.
Dang, I wanna now look, y'all know Jay-Z had dropped like the album 444. I want to see what his album sales over there were like. I don't think nobody probably purchased. That's crazy. Oh, I gotta look that up.
Thought is being mean. I know that's really broad, but it has religious backing, just hear me out. In the Bible, it says death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. There's either evil or good behind the words people speak, and the book of James sheds a lot of light on this. It says the tongue is a restless evil full of deadly poison. With it we praise God and curse men. We can get cursed from literally anyone, witches, Satanists, and even by people who are close to us like our parents. Say if a mum tells her son that he's stupid, that is cursing him. A demonic spirit could be assigned to follow him around and put stupid thoughts into his head. The more stupid he does, the more he sees himself as stupid and starts to believe that lie, that curse, and then the spirit can enter his soul and his body. Words, nice or bad, activate the Holy Spirit or the demon spirits to perform what you spoke into existence. Word curses and speaking negatively activate the demonic realm, so it's really your choice. Your words can either bless you or curse you. You decide. Now, number 2 is syphilis. Now, this one is more about the fear of writing a word rather than the fear of saying it. During the 15th and 16th centuries, the fear of contracting syphilis was so rife that doctors wouldn't even write the word. Instead, they just write the Greek letter sigma, and that signified that you had syphilis. Even today's modern medical textbooks advise students to not write syphilis and just use sigma instead. I mean, I completely understand their fear of syphilis. I mean, if you don't treat it, you could become disabled, develop a neurological disorder, or even die. The fear is completely justified, but I just don't get how they thought writing the word would higher their chances of contracting it. Last time I checked, writing on paper isn't the same as sexually transmitting a disease, but okay, we'll let bygones be bygones. And finally, at number 1 is 666. So in popular culture, 666 has become synonymous with the devil or the Antichrist. Even
Hey, listen, I'm here to tell you, I had my number changed because Queen went to change our phones out. Not this Christmas that just passed, but the previous Christmas. She had our phones because our sons wanted iPhones, so we were all team Android at one point in time. So we all had to convert to iPhone since we're all on a family plan and to be able to communicate and to FaceTime and to do different things. So I had to convert the entire family to iPhones. Yeah, sucked. I know. But when she went and got everything situated and got my phone, my new phone number, it came back with those numbers in it. She was like, I don't like this, but I wanted to check with you first. I'm like, now you done brought it up, so now it's gonna be a mental thing for me. So you gotta change it. Nah, I don't want that there. So we went back and had my number changed. Dead serious, bro.
me, I never even knew where they got the number from, but I was like, damn, 666 is a really messed up number. I never want to encounter that. Little old me, naive young me. Other people believe the number invokes Satan. In manuscripts of the New Testament, 666 was associated with the beast who was an antagonist creature in the apocalyptic vision. In Revelation 14:9, it says if anyone worships this wild beast or its image, they'll get a mark on their hand or forehead and will be tormented with sulfur and fire in the sight of the holy angels, and that your torment will last forever and ever, which last time I checked is a pretty long time. This is such a big deal, it's actually an official phobia. It's called, and bear with me because it's the longest word I've ever seen, it is called hexophobia. Oh, my mind can't even wrap my head around that word right now. I need a minute, guys. But anyway, the number was also associated with the Roman Emperor Nero, who is as vile as they come. He got his mum and first wife killed, and he killed his second wife, who was pregnant, by kicking her in the stomach. He was also extremely violent towards Christians. John, the author of Revelations, used a puzzle where numbers represented letters, and in that, Nero comes out as 666. So the number has a lot of troubling history behind it, so the masses tend to avoid saying it, having it written anywhere, avoid it being your apartment number if possible, etc. And that's it for today's video, guys. Many words, many numbers.
Yeah, I was familiar with that one. That last one I was definitely familiar with. Maybe not the entire story, but you know, it made its way around our town where people were like, they ain't really play, so it kind of, you know, trickled down to us kids, and just since forever, you was just like, I don't want to be around that. You see that type of number call your phone, you be like, I ain't answering that. What if I answer that and that's it, somebody telling me it's my, no, I'm not answering. I'm not doing nothing associated with that number. You know what I mean? I'm surprised like something related to like black cats or all that type of stuff, you know? That's the question of the day, man. Are you guys superstitious? Do you believe in stuff like this? Are there curse words or numbers that you stay away from? Let me know. What does it mean in your culture or just something that you've adopted in your beliefs? Let me know. Put it in the comment section. All right? And stick around and stay tuned, man. It's your boy L. Till the next one, I'm gone. Peace.